Hey guys, it's been like over a month since I've posted a podcast because my last one had to scrap because I had my guest, but then we started talking about things that we cannot put on the podcast, so we're gonna refilm it. But I'm going to do this one. Okay, so I'm not at home, so I don't have my mic, I don't have my stand, I don't have anything I normally have when I film this. So we're just kind of winging it. I wanted to give you guys another podcast because it's been so long since I posted one. So this is lower quality, I apologize. But I'm gonna get ready. We're gonna talk and chit chat and do the podcast thing. Okay, I've gotten a different angle. You're sitting up on some towels right now. So this morning we went to breakfast at this little cafe that we went like on one of my first days up here this trip, and it's so good. And I had a matcha and avocado toast, and then we walked around the park for a while, and then we came back. My other aunt's coming over. I'm staying with my aunt and my cousins, help babysit them while their dad's out of town. My other aunt's coming over, and we're gonna get ice cream and do some other stuff. I have no idea what we're doing. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, just because it's been on my mind a lot lately, is women not wanting kids. Because, okay, ever since I was little, I have known that I don't want kids, and now that can always change. But I've never been like, oh, I really want to be a mom. That has never been a thing that I ever really wanted. I ever really just like was dying to have, and that's okay. But somebody said, they were like, I can't believe like some women don't want to have kids. Like, you're literally made to have children. First off, not everybody's made to have children, okay? Some people are infertile. Some people have really rough like pregnancies or childbirths or whatever. And like, not everybody's made to have kids, and some people just mentally can't do it. That's my kind of stance on that. That's one of my big things, is I have to have time alone. I'm really good with kids. I love kids. It's not that I don't like kids. I love kids, but I like, even being up here for 2 weeks with the kids, like, I have to be like, hey, I have to take a break right now. Play with your toys downstairs, watch a movie, something, because my brain can't do it. I love babysitting and I love watching babies for people, but then their parents can take back over, you know? But if it's my kid, I'm the parent. And I'm not gonna be the parent to just hire a nanny and not deal with my kid. If I was gonna have a kid, I'm gonna raise the kid. But I also want to go into a really ambitious field where I'm not gonna be able to spend as much time with my kid and raise my kid as I want to. So that's another factor. It's like, if I end up in that field, if I end up being a neurosurgeon, I'm not gonna have as much time as I would want to with my kid to be able to raise my kid the way I want to raise my kid. And I think I would feel very guilty for that. I feel like I'm not doing what I should as a mom. And also, like, I have a lot of genetic conditions, and I would feel really guilty for passing those along to my kids. Like, one of my genetic conditions cost me my entire sport. And I don't know, I just, like, we need to move away. This might be me being woke, but I think we need to move away from the idea that women were made and put on earth to have children, because not everybody is. And I think, like, some people just are not in the financial state to do it. I'm a big believer in you should not have a child until you're financially stable enough. A house available, or an apartment, or a stable place to stay, a bed for the kid, money to feed them. And like, I'm not saying you have to take them on vacations all the time or anything like that, but just like basic necessities, some toys and things like that. Like, you can't just have a kid. And I know it's not some people's choice. I know that. I'm not bashing those people at all. Trust me, I know it's not everyone's choice. I think my take on this. And I also want to say that this is not coming from a political standpoint or anything like that. I promised myself I would not get political on my podcast, and I'm still not going to get political. But we need to move away from the mindset of women are made to have children. Now, most women do want kids, and that's totally fine. More power to you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have kids, but there's also nothing wrong with not wanting to have kids. I think that where a lot of women get to the point where they're just like, okay, well, I'll just have the kid or whatever, is because they're guilt tripped and pressured into having the kids. And I'm sure that they love their children. I know that they love their children, but I'm sure there's also a part of them that wonders, like, what if I never had kids? And people that want kids, that's not even a question for them. It's like, that's my purpose. That's what I want to do. I want to have children. Like, girl boss, more power to you. I don't know. It drains me. I'm around people for too long, even my family members, and I think that having kids, like, I am very worried that I would end up lashing out on my kids, and I know parents do that right now and then, but I'm worried that I would get sick of my kid. I know that sounds terrible, but there's that. And I don't know. I just don't want kids. Pregnancy, I have a genuine fear of pregnancy. And I've had that fear since I was little, just because so many people in my family had such rough births. I don't want to put my body through that. And that's another genetic thing. Like, if I had a girl and then she ended up having kids and she had the rough birth that my family has, I would feel so incredibly guilty and awful. I just wanted to go spill something like that, because the idea and the concept that women were made to have children, that's why we have a womb, it's not even medically, scientifically, whatever correct, because there's a lot of women that can't have kids. And imagine them hearing that women were made to have children. If I was infertile, if I found out that I was infertile and somebody was like, oh, women are made to have children, that would be my 13th reason. And I'm not even saying that as a joke. Next topic, high school. I'm going back to in-person school, which low-key, I'm not excited at all for. Actually, that's high-key. I'm not excited. I skipped my freshman year because I have really bad social anxiety, and honestly, I was really bad at, I wasn't bad at school, like I was a straight A student, but I was really bad at being in school. My attendance was ridiculously bad. I think my 8th grade year, if I had missed one or 2 more days of school, I would have had to go to tribunal and would have gotten like in trouble with the state or something. I had a friend, and she actually her parents got in trouble with the state because she had missed so much school. But it's like, I don't know if this is everybody's school system, but I think it's a lot of the high school system. There's a lot of, like, they don't treat us like high schoolers. Kind of like, they still kind of have you stuck in between a middle school and college mindset, which is what high school is. But it's like, they're giving you work and kind of, I don't know, they want to treat you like an adult, but you're also getting treated like a child. I don't know. And as somebody who has very bad social anxiety, testing anxiety, pretty much any anxiety you can think of, ew, that sounded really picky. Anyways, I'm also dyslexic, and I didn't find that out till 8th grade. I kept asking for accommodations, but they wouldn't give them to me, one, because I had a 504 plan, and nobody ever bothered to look into a 504 plan for me. And this is not in my family, like, the school never mentioned anything, and since I was just making A's, like, my family just assumed that I was fine. But this is one of the biggest reasons why I left public school, because they wouldn't give me accommodations and nobody looked into a 504 plan because I seemed to be doing okay. I wasn't failing any classes. The only thing that was like alarming was my freaking attendance, but where I live, a lot of people miss a lot of school, so like it's not that uncommon, which shouldn't be a thing, but whatever. But they just kind of never looked into it because I was a straight A student. I had friends. Like, I didn't seem like I was struggling, so they just kind of never did it. But going back into school this year, I have to go back into school because my my online school, the registration filled up really quickly, and we applied like a couple days after, I guess, after it had filled up, so they just didn't have any more slots. But I'm getting a 504 plan, going back in to try and get some accommodations to make school a little easier for me. Like, not the classes per se, because again, I only made really bad grades last year because I procrastinated really bad, never turned anything in, and I guess because I was just at home, it wasn't like, I don't know, I had a really rough time switching to the mindset of like, oh, I have to make myself do this, because I'm so used to just having a teacher being on my butt about it. So it was a rough switch for me, and I didn't make very good grades, but I normally make really good grades. I think I was one of like 6 people in my team in 8th grade that made straight A's. And I'm an honor student as well, so I sound like I'm bragging. I swear I'm not bragging. Anyways, but I'm not the most social individual. Like, don't get me wrong, I have friends, like, that was never a struggle for me because I made friends when I was younger. But I'm not one to go out and seek friends out. It honestly makes me so anxious. And I've been like that for years. Not when I was little. When I was little, I'd literally go talk to a plant. But I talk a lot, and I talk to people I'm comfortable with. But I didn't go out and look for friends. And I think in 8th grade, a lot of it was like, I didn't talk to as many people. Because your girl was going through in 8th grade, okay? I didn't talk to as many people as I did. And the people that I did talk to were either friends with my friends, or came and talked to me first, or we hung out with similar friend groups, or whatever. They were intermingled with me. And that was just kind of how a lot of my friends happened, or things like that. Some of my friends just kind of spawned in at some point, and I don't really remember. My friend Chloe, she low-key just spawned in. I don't remember how we became friends. She doesn't remember either. But I think that high school, everybody, at least by sophomore year, has kind of found their groove, their people that they're with. They kind of start knowing what track they want to go on, what field they kind of want to go into, or like have narrowed it down to a couple more. So I know sophomore year itself academically is really bad, but I think people just kind of start to figure themselves out more by sophomore year. Freshman year, I've heard academically, honestly, isn't that bad. I'll be completely honest. I just did really bad because I was adjusting to a new way of schooling, but academically it really isn't that bad. The only thing is, like, you get picked on by the upperclassmen, which I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that. And like, you're trying to find your way in high school, where you belong, your groups, your cliques, your whatever. But yeah, I need ideas on what you guys want me to talk about, because I will literally talk about anything except for politics. I refuse to get political. I'll literally talk about anything. I can talk about what it's like going through school with a diagnosed dyslexia, OCD, ADHD. I can talk about ADHD and people. Anyways, This one's probably gonna be shorter than my last one, but yeah. Love you, bye.